Alright, hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Jay Leo back with good grief. This is this is 3 in 2 days, huh? I guess I'm either like really bored or I'm like really missing you guys, or maybe a little bit of both. It's probably a little bit of both. But I just kind of wanted to go over this NQ from yesterday. So this is basically the same. It's like the same trade, that same thing. Let me lock this because I don't want anything to move, and then I'll kind of let you guys know what I'm looking at right now. So, if and as you can see, um, let me go back here a little bit. I'm sorry, pinch this back down because I basically added like a couple of other things, so the chart's starting to get a little John Maddenish, but some of this can actually come off. So basically, what you're looking at is on this side. I'd essentially told you guys, like in previous videos, I told you that sometimes I will mark out sessions. I did a live stream, so I was just trying to give you like a real super short condensed of the boxes and what you see and whatnot. So a lot of times I will mark out now sessions. I do not mark out like the PM session, so I'll do New York AM session. I typically do from 8:30 a.m. to noon. I do London session from 2 to 5, and I do Asia session, excuse me, from 8 p.m. Eastern Standard to midnight. So this is basically AM session. This is Monday AM session. And I just kind of denoted like the sell side liquidity. So basically, what ended up happening is we obviously went into the PM, and then we went into the overnight session for last night. So this is basically the Monday Asia range. So that's the Asia session. This is actually the London session here. The video, if you go back and you watch the previous video or maybe 2 videos ago, actually it is the last video. I believe I titled that Analyzing Candle Patterns for Trading Decisions. I think that was the name of it. The prior was basically NQ trading analysis and like a strategy discussion. So I'll do what I have started to try to do a little bit better is I'll basically just pin it above, so that way you don't have to go look through. It would be the last video, but I'll just go ahead and I'll pin it above. But essentially what I was showing you in that video was, and I have since removed it, but this yeah, because I've done this at Tuesday. So basically I was sitting in a short from yesterday where we basically saw the AM session come back and it rallied all the way back up. Well, I'd since denoted this as basically my breaker here to say, look, we're not really looking for price to get back above here. We closed within excuse me, a 4-hour candle range that I was actually looking to see if it would exploit basically the opposing side of this range. So just to kind of go back really quick again, this was the inside. So I was looking for this candle range high from the 4-hour, which turtle souped here. And I was looking for it to basically continue down, not just take out the AM session low from Monday, but ultimately the entire candle, that 4-hour candle low, which, I couldn't find my magnet. So I just used this little guy. So he was basically my vetting point, right? So kind of moving in, went through Asia session, and again, Asia kind of just didn't do a whole lot of anything. I wasn't up. I've learned to kind of disconnect from the charts unless I'm looking for something specific or I'm testing out or doing some kind of back testing or looking at price action, whatever. Like I don't look at it anymore. But nonetheless, Asia did what, didn't really do a whole lot, right? And then we got to London, and London basically came in, retested basically Asia low, and then essentially swept out Asia low. So at the time that we're moving into the AM session for this morning, I'm not saying that it is something that you should do, but I'm not sure. I think it might have been PPI or something, but I know it was for Canada. It wasn't in relationship to the U.S., but I do know that I think from an inflationary standpoint, like it wasn't as significant. So I think that there was good news for them. But essentially, that didn't move the needle one way or another at the 8:30 open. So what ended up happening was not really a whole lot of anything. I know a lot of people were probably bullish today, once seeing we dipped back into uh, London, which basically took out a sell side session liquidity. So you're probably looking for all time highs or divergence with ES or whatnot. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. I think overall, after we recover whatever the market is looking to recover, I'll just say it that way. We probably will see a return to the bullish nature for NQ. However, on this morning, we were actually looking at that's 8:55. I cannot remember what I denoted. I might have been looking for. This might have been what was this? Oh, this is my range. Okay, so I had to remind myself of what that was. So basically, I'd marked out like basically highs and lows before the 8:30 news, right? And then ultimately we did see a move through. So this candle here is basically the 8:30 candle. I don't know if you can see that or not. I'll zoom in a little bit, make this bigger. So this was my 8:30 candle. Like I said, didn't really move anything. So this is basically the buy side liquidity that would have been marked out before. I can just do this real quick, so you have a visual representation outside of me, and so I'll just put that there. So basically, the black delineates buy side liquidity before 8:30 a.m. This was the sell side. So basically, we saw like really no movement off the 8:30, and then basically price came, rallied, took out this buy side liquidity, right? So once it took that out, we actually rolled into basically the 850 to 910 macro. That is kind of where these targets I just kind of put in here because this was basically the 910 here. My 850 should have been here. So basically, the long and the short of it is 830 didn't really trigger anything with the news, but when we got to 845, the 850 macro spooled, took out the buy side liquidity here, and then basically came up into another area. Now, this area, as you see here, like I said, I denoted as a breaker. And once price kind of got up here, it really didn't push through the breaker. Had it gone through and it would have been validated, and then price would have been doing whatever it was doing. It wouldn't have been following essentially the price action that had been getting delivered and following suit with what I had already kind of determined price delivering based upon how it was respecting basically that 4 hour candle range. So it closed within, and the expectation was to see it take out the low, right? So the long and the short, I wasn't looking to see this clear or body closure above, consummate encroachment of the breaker, any of that. I wasn't looking for any of that, and thankfully we just got wicks through. One of the wicks actually set today's 6 a.m. candle range high for me, right? So that essentially occurred at 9:35. Wasn't really broken, but that would fit into the context of the 6 a.m. That would have been the 6 a.m. candle from today. That would have been the high. But we got a wick through there, and essentially we did get some bodies that closed above this area. This was a fair value gap that had formed from yesterday afternoon. I was actually I'd marked this out just to see how price was going to respond to this, if it was going to make it an inversion fair value gap, which it did for a moment, but overall it was more about the breaker, and it wasn't really about this fair value gap. But not to take too much more of your time, but again, long and the short, price rejected from the breaker, closed all the way back down, and we just got a really nice delivery short. Now, as I said yesterday, this is basically my TradingView paper trade account, and what I would like to show you is the price up here is 20 2639. So what I want to show you, before anybody says, "Oh, well, you know what? You made that up and blah 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 blah, whatever, whatever." Okay, so this trade right here, this is that trade that I caught, not the entire thing. I did not catch the entire thing down. Didn't. But this says close short position for symbol CME. This is a mini NQ at price 2487.50 for 1 unit. So one contract. Position average price was, and this is basically the average price tells you where this price, it tells you where it closed, but the average price tells you where you were filled. The fill was 2636.75. Okay, that's there. That's documented. The P&L, that means that is totally irrelevant. It doesn't matter because it's a paper trade account. So we were looking more or less at the delivery of price, not so much what we could have earned or what would have been gained or how much we would have to, do whatever. That's irrelevant. That's the ability of me just being transparent to say, hey, look, I could tell you I took this all the way down, but I could also just simply show you, right? So that's basically the account history and then just the journal log, right? So 24875 is this right? Yeah. Let's put an arrow. It's this arrow right? Yeah. Right there. So this is where we got out. But as you can see, price continued to run short. But let me just pull this back over and I'll show you essentially everything that it ran through. So it ran through Monday AM session. Okay. It also ran through from Sunday open. It ran through London. So it cleared London out. And it also cleared out Sunday Asia session. So this came all the way back and cleared through. So I can take these off now because, well, they've been cleared. We don't have that to worry about any longer. I actually am still looking to see, and I don't know if that's going to happen. Well, actually, it did already. It did clear it. It didn't clear this one though. I've got one more level back here to look to see if we actually clear out. And this is from, this is back Wednesday. So this is Wednesday, October the 9th. So this is sell side liquidity from a 6 a.m. candle. We had a closure inside. So right now, my narrative and my thought process is we are obviously coming up at 7:32 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're coming up on Asia session. So look to see how price plays out. I was looking at the afternoon session to see if we were going to get a continuation, and the continuation was to see if we were going to close back within the structure. This was just something, again, I didn't even paper trade this. I kind of just set this up to see if it was going to respect and close inside. It did deliver. However, at this point, yeah, that can go away. At this point, this is just basically opening range gap from 6 p.m. We actually have buy and sell side liquidity that's already been set. This is 7 o'clock, so this is basically be like my buy side. So neither side of liquidity has been swept within the first hour. So we're at 7:33, like I said. That would be my buy side and my sell side. So nothing's been taken, so we don't know. But as I said, the expectation is essentially I'd like to see price come back down and clear this out. And I'm not saying that once it clears this 6 a.m. sell side that immediately we're going to rally back to the top side. However, all of the zones that essentially I was looking at from an intermediary standpoint, this is the last bastion to be cleared. Not saying that there are no more down here. I mean, obviously there may be. However, that's 3. Yeah. So this is the only one that I could see for at this point. So I would like to think that once we clear out here, we could actually see a return to bullish structure. And obviously, that first high would be this Tuesday candle range high from the four hour, and then we actually have this level here denoted as well that needs to be taken out. So, and just a quick breakdown, and then I'll probably paste these in the community tab with maybe a screenshot here just to kind of back it up, let you look for yourself. But that's it. If you got any questions, comments, anything, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Trying to not overdo the videos, but at the same time, I enjoy doing them. So yeah, I hope you guys get some enjoyment out of them, and you enjoy them. So like I said, let me know. Give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. All right, you guys take care.